Guys, it's here. I can't believe it. Guys, I've got a lot of content I've just been shooting for you. I've got like 4 or 5 videos that are coming out, and each video a week. But you know what? I couldn't help it. This video is coming out. I know it's been a long time. More videos on explaining where I've been and what's new. But my gosh, Sony State of Play just happened, and they just released fresh content, fresh footage for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I want to give you my reaction, and we're going to break it down right here. Guys, Final Fantasy VII Remake is happening. I can't believe it. It's happening, and here we go. We're going to break it all down right here together. Here we go. Alright, first of all, Aerith just looks incredible here.
Hands up!
Have fun.
I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
She just looks so good.
Here, this is for you.
A flower?
Cross slash, guard scorpion, tail laser, the bomb ticking down.
And you bear to see the planet suffer. Cloud.
Sephiroth. Man, it's happening, man. And more coming in June. Alright, so here's the thing. We're going to break this down piece by piece. First of all, disclaimer, this is developmental footage. This is all subject to change, as it says. If you guys actually see it, I know I'm blocking it, but you know what? It's fine. Even if we get a taste of this, this is going to be insane. So, the title opening says, The Return Draws Closer, and you're opening up with Aerith. I mean, this is a callback to the OG Final Fantasy VII opening, and it just looks absolutely incredible. She looks stunning. I can't even say this enough. For them to be bringing this back, they need to do so much in the way of respecting the OG content, but also giving us what we as fans have always wanted, and giving such incredible detail to these characters. And I have no doubt that's why Square actually decided, instead of having a third-party company work on this, I know there's kind of a little inner turmoil there, and a lot of people were worried about it. I wasn't, and this is exactly why I wasn't worried, because Square knows what its fans want in the long run with Final Fantasy VII, because and it's why they refused to remake it for so long, because they knew that it's got one of the, if not the biggest following of all time of any of their titles. So if they screwed this up, they'd be digging their own grave. But it looks like they have gone above and beyond to give us exactly what we want. And she looks so incredible. She's even got that, kind of like the Advent Children vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's got this Advent Children vibe where she's got a little bit of a taste of what she looked like in Advent Children, but at the same time, she's been touched up in the sense that she only looks better, but also in the fact that this is her before the events of Final Fantasy VII, before she has to pray for Holy, before she's killed, spoiler alert, by the way, and all these other things that happen throughout her journey, throughout the first OG version of Final Fantasy VII, and eventually, and obviously this version will have those same events too, maybe even more. She knows she's an ancient, but she's not fully aware of what exactly that means at this point. So she's got this innocence about her, and I really love her design. This is really incredible. Now, obviously, right here, we've got what appears to be the opening scene of the game. These two soldiers, if you remember the start of the game, two soldiers jump out and, they interact with you at the very beginning of the game after Jesse and Biggs using Wedge jump off the train, and Barrett jumps off the train and says, "Hey, newcomer, come follow us." And this is probably going to be the opening battle. I'm not sure, though. This could be anywhere in the reactor.
Hands up!
Wait. Ha! 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 Call it! I mean, this could also be different footage kind of spliced together, but it looks like, very, very possibly, because you've got the two soldiers here. There's Cloud, obviously, with his Buster Sword, and there's the bodies on the ground from when Biggs and Jesse and Wedge jumped off the train, because there's the train right there. And there's Barrett. I mean, clear as day. That's the gun. That's Barrett. Like, why did they just walk past Barrett? It's not like he's got stealth mode. I mean, that's weird. But, I mean, okay, this is probably going to be very... It's kind of got that, like, cinematic change of view when the camera kind of circles around to that third over-the-shoulder third-person view. This is probably where you're going to open combat. Notice that you don't have any ATB bars or nothing yet. So this is obviously transitioning out of a cinematic event. Of course, there's the guard scorpion. Now here, this is interesting. This is an actual, like, you have an active ATB here. You have abilities here. And what's interesting is that it kind of gives you the impression that you might be able to do different abilities based on how full your ATB bar is. Like right here, you can tell that this is the enlarged version of the character select to tell you what this is, probably letting you know you have access to Cloud at this very moment. And notice you've got, I'm assuming this is your health bar. This white bar here and this white bar here are your health bar and your mana bar, or magic power, excuse me. I'm playing WoW too long. And then I'm guessing this is a limit break bar. And then right here you got, appears to be 2 levels of ATB. So is it possible that you're going to be able to do more powerful attacks or multiple lesser damaging attacks based on how much of your ATB bars you're using? Or, like, for example, like Cloud has 2 ATB bars and it looks like you've got Punisher and Attack. Interesting concept. I really think what might be happening here is that Punisher becomes available. It does double the damage, or maybe even it's just a guaranteed crit that Cloud can perform if he uses both ATB bars. This would be really interesting. Of course, Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge jumping over the turnstile to get it further into the reactor. What's interesting, this is obviously got to be a train station of some sort, but notice it says Sector 5 and Sector 8 up here. I'm wondering if this isn't Sector 1, like the opening reactor that you're blowing up, but what if this is them jumping on board the train to get to the Sector 5 reactor, because that's the second reactor you go to. For those of you that played the OG Final Fantasy VII, like this video and hit in the comments if you agree. I feel like this is them on their way to the Sector 5 reactor, which is the second reactor you attempt to blow up in Final Fantasy VII.
Have fun.
And she just looks incredible. I mean, look at Jessie. I mean, as much as I loved Aerith, Jessie was such an underutilized character. I love her so much. Her character design here is incredible. She just looks, and again, the voice acting you can't see voices, sounds phenomenal.
I'm here.
And of course, oh, here we go. We've got Cloud escaping after defeating Guard Scorpion. The timer's ticking down, and it looks like you've just completely wrecked the environment from the fight with Guard Scorpion. This looks incredible. I love the way this is looking. That's even the OG font style from... That's even the OG font style from the original Countdown. That looks awesome. Now, what's unique here is you see down here, you've got the commands menu. I'm wondering if maybe, like, this is going to give you the opportunity to interact with characters differently, or maybe interact with the open world differently than what we're used to. This isn't just going to be old school, like, overhead shot of the open world. You're actually going to be able to do commands outside of combat. Now, obviously, this is probably going to flow seamlessly into combat. It's not going to be like it was back in the day where, you fade to black or whatever, open up in a battle simulation. No, this is going to be seamlessly flows from open world into a combat scenario. You may even get to elect to stealth your way through areas, maybe, avoid creatures or avoid enemies, and the commands menu may all play as a part of that. Like, you may be able to throw items to distract enemies. This could be very interesting.
For you, to help take the...
And of course, Cloud trying to traverse 2 minutes later. He's trying to traverse broken areas. And obviously, you fought the Guard Scorpion. The whole reactor area that you're at is probably completely wrecked. So he's trying to traverse his way out of the reactor before he gets caught in the explosion. This is really awesome. I love how you're going to be able to interact. And there may even be multiple paths for you to take based on how fight actually takes place. This would be very unique.
The load off your shoulder.
Now notice here again, Barrett, active use. Over-the-shoulder view right here, third-person view right here, and he's got the active ATB. He's active. His is the largest one. So I think, and again, Backblast, that's his, same thing as Cloud's, I believe it was Punisher. And again, he's got 2 ATB bars completely filled. So you know, our theory might actually be sound. I might actually enjoy this. This is really awesome interaction. I'm really loving this.
So, what's her name?
And then obviously, I mean, right here, look at this. You use your trigger buttons to cycle between characters. Now, obviously, this looks like a different menu, but look at this. There's Braver right there. There's Cloud's interaction right there. Now, this says shortcuts. So it's possible that you have your regular command menu that we saw previously where it said Punisher, Attack, Commands, but then you've got shortcuts to Braver using a potion. So you can preset shortcuts to be able to use specific items you want to use in combat or specific magic or materia. Man, this is looking dope, man. And you can cycle through characters with L2 or R2. It even gives you an indication of where you are. Look at this. There's your ATB bar right there. Mirrors what's seen here. And also Barrett and Tifa's, their ATB bars are here and here. Mirrors exactly what you see here. And look, Braver's accessed, and look at Cloud's supposed limit break bar. There it is. That has to confirm my suspicion. Again, this is all developmental footage, and this is all subject to change, but man, I am loving the way this is looking. It's minimal, yet it's unique. It's got a fresh look to it, and it just looks incredible.
Next move, boss.
That's easy enough.
Are you?
Oh my gosh. Let me back up here. She just looks incredible. Her eyes, her facial features, her hair, her jacket, everything just looks so well designed. And she sounds just amazing. I know that in Advent Children we didn't really get a whole lot of interaction with her, and you get even more interaction with her in Crisis Core, but I never played Crisis Core. So I don't know, do we even get a active voice for her in that? Somebody post in the comments below and let me know, because she just looks incredible. I'm so happy that Square went away from third-party developers and pulled this in-house. I can see now why they did that, because they wanted to give this They wanted to give this game the attention it deserves for the fans, and it looks like it is going to pay off huge for them. If this is a taste for things to come, I am sold.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
And Cloud, look at this. I mean, look at how he looks. His interaction with her. His hair is not as poofy as it was in the original footage that we saw. And it just looks, he looks so unique in how he looks. But he's got the same, like, tasteful interaction that we're used to from Cloud. I mean, this is Cloud before he realizes that he's not actually who he thinks he is. And he's got this confidence about him, and right now he's just trying to get through, not trying to attract any attention to himself, because he's trying to get back to the train station so he can meet with the rest of Avalanche's members, and he gets held up here by Aerith, and her interaction with him here is just so unique. Like, she can tell that there's something about him that is familiar, and she's not quite ready to let this interaction with him just go away. She doesn't know quite what it is, I'm guessing, but my guess is this is why she won't let him walk away.
Here, this is for you.
So it's very possible that she just feels compelled to interact with him, see how he's going to interact. Because she, again, in the OG game, she's attracted to Cloud initially because of how he reminds her of Zack. So this is very, very amazing how they do a callback to that with this scene here, and I love it, absolutely love it. And Cloud, again, just looks so incredible.
Flower?
And he looks different than how we've seen him in previous footage for the remake, and also looks different from Advent Children, because again, we know that Advent Children takes place 2 years after the ending events of Final Fantasy VII, but we don't know how much, like, physical damage. I mean, obviously we know from the OG version, but there's so much that can happen in this remake, so many different unique stories and takes and just different angles and viewpoints from where we can see events that transpire. And even when he goes into the live stream and his entire facade changes, it could actually change the way his facial structures develop to where he actually becomes more of the Cloud that we know and loved from Advent Children. This is very interesting. I'm very, very much in love with what they're doing with this character. Oh my gosh. Could it be? Does anybody know who that is? Comment below right now if you know who it is. That is apps, bro. That is apps from right after the Wall Market scenario with Don Corneo. He releases the button after he asks you the question. Of course, you fail to answer, and you fall down to the depths of the sewers below, and lo and behold, you run into the one and only Apps. He looks incredible. Oh my gosh, he's got the long, prolonged tongue. He's got the huge snout. He's got the gnarly hands, huge spikes out of his shoulders. He's got chains on his arm, and he's obviously in a sewer system. That just looks awesome. Oh my gosh. I mean, that possibly could not also be something different, but that, I got money that says that's Apps all the way. And if that is what our enemies are going to look like, this just, oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Oh, that scene. We need to talk about this scene right here. This right here is what I'm talking about. Square, thank you so much. Let me get to a nice frame here. All right. Let me explain why I'm so excited about this scene, because this right here is exactly what I have wanted from a Final Fantasy VII Remake since day one. This is everything that I wanted and more. There's been speculation and talk about Cloud and his mental state throughout the game, and over the years, he's been given this false persona of being wimpy, not sure of himself, not confident, and just really kind of emo. And I'm like, who in the world are you to make that statement? Did you ever even play OG Final Fantasy VII? This dude is confident to the core. He is. End of story. I mean, look at how... I mean, this is the first hour and a half of the original game. You know, as long as you're not trying to, like, speed run it. And he is just so full of confidence. He believes himself to be a former member of Soldier. And he believes himself to be a BA. And I was like... He just comes off. Apps attacks him and Aerith. And obviously Tifa's potentially somewhere in this shot, because she's there in the OG game, and he just pulls out the Buster Sword, and he's like, let's go, son. Let's do this. You ain't think I'm scared of you? Bring it on. And I love this stoic, steady, hard as a rock, just determined and ready to rock and roll version of Cloud. I love the psychology. I love it. And I'm going to be so excited to see how they develop his persona throughout the game as his memories of his past life and the memories that he absorbed from Zack and the commingling of those memories together through the interaction and his, like, basically being injected with Genova cells and being doused in Mako for such a prolonged period of time through Hojo's experiments caused him to develop this persona that he had and the struggle that he had with who he is versus who he thinks he is. And just seeing this version of him so early in the game makes me so thrilled. And to see that development come from stoic confidence to not so sure of myself to nearly killing Aerith to Aerith being killed by Sephiroth and what that's going to do to his emotional state and the devastation it's going to have on him to where he gives the black material away. All these things and struggles and the emotional trauma it's going to have on him to where he's finally in the live stream. Tifa comes to his aid and helps him rediscover who he really is. And then, yet again, come full circle back to that full of confidence Cloud, ready to face off against Genova and Sephiroth in the final disc of the OG game. This is exactly what I have wanted from day one, and I am so thrilled to see this. Like this video and hit the subscribe button, and type in the comments down below if you feel the same way. My gosh, I'm so excited for this. Oh, and you actually get the ability to block here. Excuse me, you get the ability to block here. Does anybody else notice that? Look how much damage that he takes. And, I mean, he just gets smacked by this thing. And he takes little damage. 144 damage when he's got 2,000 health. That is minuscule. This is interesting. And again, the health bar, this is all, preemptive. This is all very subject to change. But blocking could be part of the commands menu. And again, what options are available in the commands menu could be dependent on how much of an ATB bar you have built up, whether it's 1 or 2. And who knows, the higher level you get or certain materials you get added on may even add more depth to your ATB bar. Maybe you can have 3 levels of ATB, 4 levels of ATB. possibilities are endless. Maybe you can combo lower damaging attacks together multiple times if you use 5 or 2 or 3 ATB bars. If you use 2 ATB bars, maybe you can combine 2 lower level attacks with a limit break. Interesting concept. Let's see how this plays out in the future. I'm so excited. Of course, Barrett and the cross slash ability. Oh, this looks incredible. Look at this. Look how amazing this looks. This absolutely looks incredible. So let's back it up a little bit here. Oh, actually, if you look, this might actually be something. Could this possibly be Big Shot? Because notice something right here. Notice something right here. They're fighting some kind of enemy. This looks to be like in the slums or something, because I don't see any Shinra memorabilia. Or you know what else? This could be in the sewers or the train, like the train tunnel. This would be a very unique place to fight, because it looks like there's something here on the right. Could that possibly be a subway track? I'm not sure, but this looks very unique. I'm not really sure where this is. It could be the slums. It could be the train tunnel. It could be a whole lot of things, because there's like, looks like a nest of some sort. There's spider webs and whatnot. But notice Barrett's limit break bar is empty here, and it looks like he's performing the Big Shot. And then right after this, cross slash from Cloud, again, empty limit break bar, and still has a full ATB bar. I believe Barrett had a full ATB bar as well. Now that is an interesting take. What if you're able to actually combo limit breaks together with other attacks from your ATB bar, and your limit break doesn't affect your ATB? What if you're able to actually perform, if you have a limit break, what if you're able to perform it at any point in the battle? That will be interesting to see. I love that idea. This, because limit breaks are supposed to be like that OG, like in the OG game, you had limit breaks that you could do as things developed, and if you hit the limit break ability, it instantly stopped whatever ability was currently active at that moment. As soon as it ended, your limit breaks were the first thing that went off. Nobody else, not even the enemy, got a chance. Limit breaks went off immediately. So what if they add that kind of aspect into the game to where you can use limit breaks at any point in the fight, regardless of where your ATB bar is at? That would be such a unique style, and I love that idea. This, oh my gosh, this just looks so much more incredible. Of course, Guard Scorpion, Cloud, and Barrett, this must be the first time that they're seeing it. Maybe it just leaped down on top of them. And this has got to be the opening cinematic, because again, you don't see any ATB bars at all. This has got to be the opening cinematic to when they meet the Guard Scorpion. Of course, the tail laser kind of gives you an impression. Stay away from that tail. There's the bomb ticking down.
You bear to see the planet suffer, Cloud.
And then, of course, my gosh, Cloud looks so incredible. The sweat, the detail, everything, the reflection out of his eyes. How incredible this is going to look if they have, like, actual ray tracing involved in this. Oh, this would be incredible. Now, notice here, Cloud is squaring off against Sephiroth. This looks like it could very well be the flashback in Calm. Cloud's retelling his story about what happens, and what if this is the scene, what if this is the moment where the first part of the game ends? I'm guessing that the game's going to have, of course we know it's going to be multiple parts. What if the first part of the game is the telling, like ends in a climax of the Calm flashback? What if it ends up Cloud and Sephiroth squaring off against one another, and they finish it off right there? And you're just like, what happened? Or it could be like, you know, literally the moment that they get to the edge of Midgar and they say, you know what, the entire first episode or first part of the game is going to be all Midgar based, and you don't actually get to the open world until you get to the second part. And the second part plays all the way through, probably up until the moment that Cloud is lost in the live stream, be my guess. And then if they release a third part, it'll be everything from the time that Tifa is the party lead to the moment that you defeat Cloud, or excuse me, defeat Sephiroth. There's so many different angles they could do here, but this looks incredible. I'm guessing this is the Calm flashback, because we don't see Sephiroth face to face between the Calm flash. Well, we deal with the aftermath of him at the Shinra headquarters. Once we break out of the prison, we deal with the aftermath of him being there. Of course, he's slaughtered everybody in the slaughtered everybody in the building. The president's dead, and he's gone at this point. And then at that point, you don't see him again until the flashback. And again, this is all past tense. You see him in the flashback, and you have the square off between him and Cloud inside the Nibel reactor, and then you don't see him again in, basically, aside from the flashback, we don't deal with Sephiroth in the open world until you get on board the ship going across the ocean to Costa del Sol from Junon. That's the first time we see him. And I'm telling you, based on this footage that we know that this first part of the game is going to be, and all this footage is 99% of it, I'm sure, is from that first part of this game, this has got to be the calm flashback. I could be wrong. They could take this in a completely different direction. This may even be like Cloud has a, like, you know how he has like a flashback where like the screen goes red just before he places the bomb in the first reactor. What if this is him having a flashback after Guard Scorpion blows up the reactor or blows up the initial area, and Cloud has like a flip out moment where he flashes back to a scene of Sephiroth, and as it zooms in close on Cloud's face, it flashes back to the fight with Guard Scorpion. That would be a different, unique take on that too. Like, have flashbacks periodically throughout the game that are triggered by events that happen in present day. Man, there's so much they could do, and I'm hoping that all this speculation is going to pay off in the end. I'm not saying that anything I said here is going to be 100% accurate, but based on what I'm seeing and my experience with this game, and believe me, that you're going to be lucky to find anybody that's got more experience with the OG version of this game. This looks incredible. I'm so excited. Let's finish this up, man.
Cloud.
There it is. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh my gosh, there it is. It's happening. It's for real. And there it is. More to come in June. Again, I've got tickets to go to the Symphonic Reunion June 9th, and I will be tweeting, Instagramming, live streaming all of the content to you. Obviously not going to get copyrighted there, but before and after, during intermission, I will be tweeting and live streaming you guys, letting you know what's happening, give you guys updates. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and comment down below if you're just as excited about this and about the future of this channel, about the future of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and all the content that's ready to come y'all's way. As always, love you guys. I'm Zara. Stay salty, stay kind to one another, and I'll see you in the next video. Zara out.